and exhale. And inhale. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. And just continue to take deep breaths. And just feel the body relax further into where you are. Just allowing the breath to enter the body and fully exhale. So maybe our inhalations are a bit longer now. So maybe inhaling on the count of 9, releasing on the count of 11. Just really allowing the body to fully inhale and exhale. And as you take these deep breaths, just feel the muscles in your face relax. Any tension in the shoulders or arms, just fully relax. Maybe there's a particular area of the body that you would like to focus on to just support your body in relaxing where it is now. And you can just go ahead and place your attention there. We can just see this light descending down towards the body from above our heads. It's beautiful white light. And as this light comes down towards the body. It's just coming slightly in front of us. And as it gets closer, we can just start to feel our energy centers within the body start to vibrate. And as this light continues to just come down in front of us, we can start to feel our throat energy center start to open and expand. And we can start to feel our heart center just start to open and expand. Starting to see these beautiful colors as these energy centers open, seeing red and pink, hints of white in the heart center, seeing different shades of blue with the throat chakra. As these energy centers just start to open, just feel ourselves connected deeply within our own energy and our body. Feeling this deep yearning and connection to truth and authenticity and voice. A deep connection to expressing any expression of love, compassion, and if there's anything that needs to be shared or opened, that's starting to come to the surface, then we are just allowing ourselves to be open. We're allowing our hearts to be open. And not just that the heart is open, but that we're in a position to give and receive, to exchange energy with another being. As this light shines on these energy centers, just dissolving anything, any stuck energy, old energy, closed energy, releasing anything that is no longer serving us. reminding us that it doesn't matter what we are experiencing in our lives, what conflict, what challenge, we can always move and operate from this space of love. We can always communicate with love. Particularly with ourselves. So we are being called to identify where in our own experience are we not giving love? Where are we holding love back? Where are we not speaking openly and authentically? Just notice any sensations in your body. If there are any images, colors, shapes, anything coming up for you in this moment, any insight or thoughts. Anything that can help us tap into a deeper expression of love. And where in the world would we like to see deeper expressions of love today? Where people aren't operating from a space of fear, but from the deep wisdom within their body and their experience. Where would you like to share an offering of this expression of love today? And with whom? So we can go to the crown energy center at the top of our heads and just open that and pull out a shield, or we can a layer of light and energy we can just put over our body as a second layer of skin. Help protect us from any outside influences of our energy today. And also, because I'm going to getting this, we are being encouraged to keep our heart centers open, to keep our throat energy center open today. So we're going to go ahead and pull a second layer out from our crown energy center and just take this layer of light, just place it over our body as a second layer of protection. And if you have a busy day today where you're going to be out in public, an airport, in a busy place, let's go ahead and do a third layer. We can bring a third layer out of our crown energy center, place it over our body as an extra layer of skin and protection to protect our energy. Although we're being encouraged to keep our energy centers open, which is why we want to have this extra layer of protection, you always have the choice to close them if you choose to. And this is the time where we can thank our body for what it does for us every single day. And we set the intention today for not just ourselves, but for every being in this world, that we are operating at the highest level of love and the expression of love that we possibly can. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. Right. Wonderful to see you, Craig and Dara, Jeffrey, Sarah, Raina, David. So welcome to our 7:45 a.m. meditation. And where we're coming together and meeting Monday through Friday at 7:45, and we're doing a 30-day meditation at the moment. And so we're meeting at 11 a.m. on Saturdays and Sundays, except this Saturday will be 9 a.m. And so I don't know if you all felt that, but that the energy is a bit dense this morning. It's very clear that the focus is on how we are expressing love, how we are embodying love. And just the focus on keeping our hearts open and ensuring that we are protected throughout the day. Today came through very strongly, and it was quite visceral. So just be mindful of how you are taking care of yourself and supporting your own experience, because you may very much be in a position to support the experience of another person today. And then, of course, wanting to ensure that that is, we are setting that intention and that blessing for this to be shared across the globe, and so that we're all doing that, and that, of course, people are experiencing that love as well. That people are receiving the love that they need today.
Jessica, thank you so much for this meditation today. I mean, I don't know about anyone else here. I don't necessarily sense the energy in the space around me. You don't have that amazing acuity that you have. I certainly did absolutely appreciate your message during the meditation to be able to take care of myself and protect my own space. And then the thought to remind us all that beyond doing it for ourselves, just giving thought to protect others, that we can do that as well. So absolutely appreciate that. So I know one thing, I certainly needed it. I felt, yes, I needed to do these 3 layers of protection. So thank you. I don't know if anybody else knows that. I'm like, okay, thank you for reminding me.
Wonderful. Yeah, thank you for sharing, Angela. And so glad that it resonated. Yeah. I think this was the first time we've done 3 layers of protection. So, yeah, definitely. Yeah.
It's interesting. I think that right now we're all learning to take care of ourselves, but it is a balance of taking care of ourselves as well as taking care of others, right? There's that duality. Because I think sometimes when I take care of myself, but I don't think of the people I interact with, I might accidentally hurt them as well, and that hurts me in turn, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Or it makes you doubt whether how you protect yourself, if you're protecting yourself the right way.
Mm-hmm.
And there's that balance to be discovered, right?
Absolutely. I agree with that. I mean, there is this tension of being open, right? Of being open and being in the willingness of being vulnerable and willing to engage, but then also the need to protect ourselves if we're in a dialogue with someone, and also depending on how that person relates to us in our life. And it is a very delicate, it can be, I should say, a very delicate balancing act, for sure. And yeah, thanks for voicing that, because yeah, I mean, yeah, it's important.
I have a more, it's interesting what plays around in the world. Sometimes we see that in our own lives, right? If someone, I have a question for you and wonder how you would walk someone through that. If someone is, let's say, in a contentious situation, maybe in the role of being the underdog, right? How do you engage? How do you protect, but yet speak back, with compassion, right? Because let's say in our normal lives, you're the person who's, I'm working with someone where, how do I teach that person to protect themselves, but yet engage, with respect and compassion, even, possibly.
Yeah, that's interesting. I think what I'm hearing you also say is it's like setting up boundaries, right? That there are appropriate boundaries in place so that someone that they're able to speak their own truth, but then also are able to protect themselves as needed. And yeah, I think this is probably a great area where voice comes in terms of how we're setting how we're setting expectations with people and how we're willing to engage with them. And then if they cross a boundary, then then we decide to, this decision is whether we decide to continue to engage with that person, depending on, exactly if that's even possible, or, sometimes, like if it's depending on the situation, we may have to continue to engage with them. But it can all be done on a limited basis to help ensure that we are being clear about reinforcing boundaries that are being crossed. So, yeah. But
Thank you
yeah,
for that.
yeah.
And then just to open it up even further, this person is at work, and everyone in her company is raising her up. Management wants her to move up. Her colleagues want her to move up, but there's someone right above her who is claiming her work. And this woman is so compassionate, walking her through this. She is so compassionate. She grapples with, how do I defend my space, and yet, how do I remain congruent to who I am, defend my space, and protect myself,
Oh,
And
yeah.
there's a certain level of that balance of that. There's that balance of that male and female energy, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But I also meet a lot of women. I'm thinking of Women's History Month. We've been writing about it, and there's a lot of women who grapple with, I'm female. My female energy of being so collaborative and supportive. When do I had someone else say to me, should I be speaking up and owning my voice? And I'm saying, yes, we all have masculine in us. We when that time arises, for all of us, male or female, we have that balance, that duality of male and female energy. There's times to speak up and own your voice.
Yeah. I would agree with that. And that seems to be a very unique situation if when someone in the workplace is taking credit for another person's work, particularly a woman, because we know that this does happen, and that's part of the challenge that women face in the workplace. And interesting if it's another woman that's doing this to her, and that's a different experience too. But I would say, I think power of voice is so important. And I think that I think there are ways to energetically kind of take a stand in this and also protect ourselves. But then there's also just the place of setting those clear boundaries verbally to be able to really set the tone of the relationship around what's appropriate and what's not. And this is also why having allies in the workplace is, I would say, also so important as well. But it sounds like a very unique experience, and so definitely willing to continue to chat about this offline, because we definitely wouldn't want someone to have this experience in the workplace, and that can be so demoralizing. Oh my goodness.
Right. Well, and it's interesting to me what plays around in the world and how we can see that in our lives and how we play that out. And I love your comment about having those allies to support you, to validate your voice, right? Sometimes we need that confirmation from our colleagues. Am I acting? I was going to say dharma, but not dharma, but, using your voice. There's that balance of, do I defend? How do I speak in compassion? There's a lot of nuance there, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think a lot of it is following one's intuition on how and when to engage with people, also depending on if they're at different levels of leadership, and to know that, and particularly if that's at play here. So, but yeah, wow, that's very challenging. Yeah, and every one of these situations are a little bit different in terms of their complexity too, yeah. So, and thanks for bringing that up. It's always interesting when real life examples are brought up that relate to the practice that we just did, and I think there's no doubt that and what I hear her experience and what I think is happening with all of us. And I think what we can definitely see and what we've observed in different conflicts around the world is that people are being called to speak their ultimate truth, right? Like if there is a point of survival, they have to say something, they have to do something. There is something that is actively happening, and it has to come from their voice, it has to come from their heart, it has to come from this place of kind of by any means necessary, or else I won't be here. And I think that there's a place and a balance for all of that, and doing it from a place of such authenticity, and also from a place of such strong personal power that not only does energy shift, but the situation can shift, the dynamics of the situation can shift. So yeah. But yeah, I'm curious to know if anyone else has any thoughts on this, or if anyone has any thoughts or comments that have come to them in regards to this topic or anything. Mm.
I'm not sure if anybody has any thoughts, but I just wanted to thank you for that, Jess, for all of us. Thank you for reminding us to take care of ourselves, and it's reminding me to notice others, you know,
Mm-hmm.
as we all move through this, as we support what we see around us globally, right in our midst. These are all lessons that we can learn wherever position we're playing in that, you know, that scenario.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I have family waking up here.
Yep.
It's time for me to go back to making breakfast and putting my son to school. So
No, I
thank you so
understand.
much for
Yes.
a beautiful morning message. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you, so, of course, and thank you for your comments. Yeah, and for sharing that and what came up for sure. So thank you. And before we end today, does anyone else have any thoughts that they would like to share before we end? No? Okay. All right. Well, thank you, and always such a pleasure to start the morning with each of you. Um, Welcome, and have an amazing Thursday, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. So take care, and look forward to seeing you then. Bye.
Bye, everyone.